Dublin. We've also got PDAC, the mining convention that is going on. Andrew Bell is standing by with the CEO of American Lithium. Those stocks have been hot to trot these days. We'll talk about where the opportunity is with the CEO. All right, American Lithium stock is experiencing a dramatic revival following its U.S. listing in January and a promise to update investors on its much-anticipated Nevada project. Now, shares have surged over 40% since the start of the year, topping peers even as prices for the silvery white metal cool from the steep ascent in 2022. BNN Bloomberg is covering the whole mining sector at PDAC, which is the world's largest mining convention hosted in Toronto. Andrew Bell has been out there for the past day, and you'll be there again today. And you've got the CEO of American Lithium. Andy, why don't you take it away?
Thanks a lot, Amber. Yep, Simon Clarke, CEO of American Lithium, joins us right now. Thanks for giving us the time.
Good to be here, Andy, and good to see you again.
Yes, it's great to have you back on the channel. So a big catalyst for you guys was big news for your rival, well, let's say colleagues at Lithium Americas near you in Nevada, because GM is putting more than $600 million into their project. So you were happy to hear about that.
Absolutely. That was great validation for all of the claystone projects in Nevada. So we're very excited for them. We're very excited for us. It shows us a real route forward with our project as we continue to develop it.
Now, I'm sure yours is much better in many ways. I know mine is pretty well, but without getting into comparisons, tell us what the deal is with your thing, TLC as you call it, in Nevada.
Yeah, well, first of all, for the domestic needs, we're going to need all these projects to come online. So we're very happy to see the success happening at Thacker. We are about 18 months to 2 years behind them in the development cycle. So to see their steps is very important for us. You know, I think every deposit is different. We deal with a little bit of a lower grade, but we also deal with an easier style of mineralization. So it's easier for us to break it down and then produce from it. And we're also in a part of Nevada where we don't have some of the environmental issues in terms of plants and animals that some of the other projects do. So we have a number of advantages, but they have higher grades. So, you know, it all works out in the wash.
So yours is a clay deposit. What will you do? You dig some kind of a big open pit to get it out?
It's an open pit. You know, the lowest we would go would probably be about 300 feet. So conventional mining, good strip ratio, you know, and then it's very similar to what they're doing at Thacker. It's a sulfuric acid leach using conventional technology, you know, and in our side of the trend, we get very good recovery rates. So we're very excited.
How much CapEx? You have a PEA out for that one. How much CapEx are you looking at this stage?
We're looking at about $820 million US for our first phase, and that would give us about 25,000 tons of lithium carbonate production a year. We then see the project doubling up in year 6 to 50,000 tons a year. So it's a big project, a little bit smaller than Lithium Americas, but where we are in Nevada, we would be the second biggest on a measured and indicated resource basis.
Let's talk about Peru, because you have a slightly different geology down there. It's hard rock, but it's not the traditional pegmatite type mining.
Absolutely. No, I mean, Falciani has been described as a unicorn. And as a unicorn would probably tell you, that's a good and a bad thing. I think to begin with, it took people to get their head around the style of mineralization that we see there, which is unique in global terms, but the beauty of it is it's high purity. So, you know, again, it sits at surface, so conventional mining, but it's really good with acid leach. You get really high recoveries, and really importantly, you get very few impurities. So when you actually process the lithium on site at Falciani, you precipitate a battery-grade lithium carbonate, which is very unusual.
And you don't have to send it up to China, for example?
Don't have to send it to China or anywhere for upgrading or refining.
Is that typically the pattern in the lithium industry worldwide? What about the Aussies? Do they send theirs to China?
So not only do they have to concentrate it, so they heat it, and then they concentrate it. They then don't get, they concentrate it to about 5 or 6%, and then they ship it for upgrading and refining. And so the Chinese then get the benefit of the value add in those pieces. We produce a 99.94% purity at Falciani, which is incredibly high, and so we don't need to go through any of those steps.
So how will it work with President Biden's massive incentives here, the Inflation Reduction Act? Are you in line to get money from the U.S. government?
Well, we've seen Ioneer, which is a nearby project, get $700 million of funding through the Department of Energy. And if you think about lithium, it's still a nascent sector.
Yes.
So traditional forms of debt are only just evolving. So I think the government has done a great thing by jumping in and saying, listen, we will provide the debt to build these projects because we need them to come on very quickly. And so, that's a clear roadmap for us as well. I mean, there's, under the Inflation Reduction Act, there's incentives for domestic lithium. There's pots of capital available with the DOE and DOD. So I think they're making a lot of the right moves to really make sure we don't need this lithium in 5 to 8 years' time. We need it as soon as possible.
And just finally, we've only got 20 seconds. When you're having coffee with Elon Musk, does he say he might buy lithium from you?
Yeah, well, we've had those discussions. I mean, I think it's safe to say they've looked at a lot of projects, including ours. But, with what GM did, there's no doubt that you're going to see the autos more and more active and coming up chain to the actual producers of the resources they need.
Simon, thank you very much.
Great stuff. Thank you, Andy.
Simon Clarke of American Lithium. Back to you, Amber.
All right. Thanks so much. Fascinating interview, as always, by Andrew Bell, and he's got more great ones coming up throughout the day.